Hello everyone. So this is the third and final part of this series where I solved this specimen paper of non-calculator. So here we have the surds and we're asked to simplify it. So the way we do this, if you remember back to the non-calculator video I made initially at the beginning about the key concepts of the key concepts to focus on based on the non-calculator change, you know that to simplify this, we have to find the product of it as a square number. And we know that 32 is equal to 16 by 2. And similarly, 98 is equal to 49 times 2. All we've done is found it as a product in which one of them is a square number. So now, this is equal to 16 times root 2 plus root 49 times root 2. You'll also notice, again, you'll know this if you watched my video. And now root 16 is just 4, so 4 root 2. And root 49 is 7, so 7 root 2. And now we can just add these two together to get 11 root 2, 4 plus 7. So 11 root 2 is our answer for that. Now we have to rationalize the denominator. To rationalize it, remember, we have to multiply it by its conjugate pair. What a conjugate pair is just the same expression but with the sign flipped. So instead of multiplying both sides by root 2 plus 1, we multiply by root 2 minus 1. And so on the top, we get root 2 minus 1 all over. And remember, multiplying by this doesn't change the meaning of the fraction because this is just the same as multiplying by 1. It's just to make the denominator better or rationalized. And then on the bottom, remember, if we have a plus b multiplied by a minus b, this is the difference of two squares, a squared minus b squared. So here we have the same thing, where a is root 2 and b is 1. So therefore, if you multiply these two, you get root 2 all squared minus 1 squared. So that would be root 2 squared minus 1 squared. And that's root 2 minus 1 over 2 minus 1, which is just root 2 minus 1 over 1. But of course, it's a fraction, so we don't need the over 1. So the answer is just root 2 minus 1. Okay, our next question. Y is proportional to 1 over root x. Or in other words, y is inversely proportional to the square root of x. Because we have 1 on top. It's as a fraction, 1 over root x. So the first thing we do is we write it in terms of any constant k over root x. So when y is equal to 8, x is equal to 4. Remember, the square root of 4 is just 2, so k over 2. So therefore, k is equal to 16. Since you do 8 multiplied by 2. Find y when x is 49. So now we know that y is in fact just equal to 16 over root of x. So now find y when x is 49. So all we do is substitute in 49 here. And of course the root of 49 is just 7. So therefore y is equal to 16 by 7. And that's our answer. Okay, our next question. We're given a triangle and a rectangle. And the area of the triangle is 11. And the area of the rectangle is 39. Write down an expression in terms of x for the height of the rectangle. So therefore, if you want to write an expression in terms of x for the height of the rectangle, we know that the area of a rectangle is equal to length times width. So if this is our length, our height is going to be w here. And our area we know is 39. So it's equal to x plus 1 multiplied by the height. Or multiplied by w. And hence w is equal to 39 over x plus 1. So therefore the height of the rectangle is 39 over x plus 1. I'm writing it as w here to not confuse it with height over here. But effectively it's the same thing. So the height of the rectangle is 39 multiplied by 39 divided by x plus 1. Because now if you calculate the area of the rectangle using these two values, length as x plus 1 and the height as 39 divided by x plus 1, the area would just be these two multiplied. And of course the x plus 1 would cancel out and you'd get the area as 39 as required. So that's the right answer. Now we want to show that 2x squared minus 15x plus 22 is equal to 0. Okay, so the way we would do this is, well, we know first of all that the area of the triangle is 11. So 1/2 base times height, x times height, is equal to 11. So x multiplied by h is equal to 22. But from the above, we've seen that h plus 2 is equal to this right here, 39 over x plus 1. And so h is in fact just 39 over x plus 1 minus 2. So if we substitute in this value now for h into this, we get that x multiplied by 39 over x plus 1 minus 2 is equal to 22. So 39x over x plus 1 minus 2x is equal to 22. Now if we multiply both sides by x plus 1, 39x minus 2x, x plus 1 is equal to 22, x plus 1. So 39x minus 2x squared minus 2x is equal to 22x plus 22. And so if you bring everything over to one side, you'll see that 2x squared minus 15x plus 22 is equal to 0. And that is exactly what we required as from the question. So now we have to factorize and solve to find the two possible heights of the triangle. So to factorize this, you would get 2x in one bracket and x on the other. Since this is 2, here they have to multiply for 2. And 22 is equal to 2 multiplied by 11. So if we do this as this, negative 11 and negative 2, the negatives, now that you can see that if you expanded this out, you would get the exact same, 2x squared minus 11x minus 2x multiplied by negative 2, so minus 4x, and then minus 11 multiplied by minus 2 is just the same as 22, because the negative signs cancel out when you multiply. And this is equal to 2x squared minus 15x plus 22, which is the same as the original. So this factorization is correct. So therefore, this is equal to 0. So hence, one of these brackets must be equal to 0 in order for the product to be equal to 0. So therefore, 2x minus 1 equals to 0, or x minus 2 is equal to 0. In this case, x is equal to 11 by 2, or x is equal to 5.5, and in this case, x is equal to 2. But remember, the height is equal to 39 divided by x plus 1 minus 2. We've seen up here. So therefore the height is equal to, in this case, 39 divided by x plus 1, so 6.5. Or in this case, it would be easier to leave it as fraction form. Minus 2. So that would be 4. If you simplify it, and in this case, height would be equal to 39 over 2 plus 1 minus 2. And 39 divided by 3 is 13, minus 2 is 11. So it's equal to 11. Therefore, the height is either equal to 4 or it's equal to 11. So that's the two possibilities for the height. And that's question 21 done. Okay, so now the next one. Find the exact value of x. So here we need to use trigonometry. And the exact trigonometric values, we have, relative to 30-degree angle, we have the adjacent side and the hypotenuse. And if you remember from SOHCAHTOA, this means that we are using the cosine function. So therefore a cosine of 30 is equal to adjacent 8 over x. And this is where it's important that you know your exact trigonometric values. If you go back to my non-calculator video that I initially made, it includes the full table of the trigonometric values that you need to know for exam. And cosine 30 is one of them. And you should know off by heart that cosine 30 is equal to root 3 over 2. And therefore that's equal to 8 over x. And so x is equal to 16 over root 3. Once you cross multiply both sides and then divide. And you could leave it in this form, but you also could rationalize it if you wanted to. But there's no requirement. So we could leave it as 16 over root 3. As a bonus question for you guys, do let me know in the comment section how you would express this answer in rationalized form. I think that would be a good extra question for you guys to also test your understanding of rationalization. So yeah, put it down in the comments. What is 16 divided by root 3? But anyways, next question. Write as a single fraction in the simplest form. So the way we do this is we multiply out x plus 3 on the first fraction and x minus 4 on the second fraction. So we get x plus 3 here. And remember to also do the same for the denominator. Because remember, in the end, these two just cancel out to give 1, which is the same as 3 over x minus 4. And then minus. Same thing here, but with the other denominator. X minus 4, x plus 3. Now we can see these two have the same denominator, so we can combine them. 3x plus 3 minus 4x minus 4. And then if you expand out the brackets on the numerator, you get 3x plus 9 minus 4x plus 16. Remember, negative 4 times negative 4. So it's just 16. Divided by x minus 4 multiplied by x plus 3. And then if you simplify, you get 9 plus 16 is 25. 3x minus 4x is negative x. So 25 minus x over x minus 4x plus 3. And that's our answer. That's as simple as I can get. So 25 minus x over x minus 4 x plus 3. That's that. Okay, now write this in completed square form. This is completed square form. So the way we do this is we write x here. To calculate a, all you do is divide this number here, negative 4 by 2. So therefore, divided by 2. So it's x minus 2 squared. And then calculate b. If we expanded this out right here, we get x squared minus 4x plus 4. But the original one is plus 7. So we need to add 3 more to this to get the original form. So therefore we add 3. So a is equal to 2 and b is equal to 3. So therefore the final answer for this is x minus 2 squared plus 3. Yeah. So now we want to write the coordinates of the turning point of the graph. So in this form that we're given, x minus a all squared plus b, there's an important formula you need to know. The turning point is always equal to a, b. And so the turning point here is just 2, 3. Because as we've already deduced here, a is 2, b is 3. Yeah, so... But there's also another case you need to know about. If it was x plus a squared plus b with a positive sign, the turning point would be negative a, b. So it's always the opposite of the sign that's given in the brackets. Which is why here when it's negative a, the turning point is just a. And now similarity shapes. Similar shapes. So this is similar to the question about circle theorems, and because we have 2 similar shapes, the area, but this time we're working with areas. So the first thing we would do is to find the area scale factor, and that is equal to 36 centimeters of the larger shape to 25 of the smaller shape. And now to find the linear scale factor, which is just the scale factor between the sides, all we do is take the square root of these area scale factor. So that would be 6 to 5. So now in the shape given in the diagram, the larger one has length of 9 centimeters, of height of 9, and we want to calculate what x is here. So now the same thing we do every time between converting. To get from 6 to 9, we multiply by 3 over 2. So therefore we do the same to the other side. So 5 multiplied by 3 over 2. So therefore x is equal to 5 multiplied by 3 over 2. And that's equal to 15 over 2. So therefore x is 15 over 2. Again, this is a very important concept to know. You see it's coming up a lot in this paper, converting and using the scale factor. But yeah. And this is the final question of the specimen paper 2025. So now they've given us a function here, and we're asked to sketch the graph of it. So the first thing we do is to find the intercepts of it. So the intercepts is where the graph meets the coordinate axis. So when x is equal to 0, y, or f of x in this case, is equal to negative 6. And when f of x is equal to 0, again we have the product rule. One of these brackets must be equal to 0. So x is equal to 0 is a root over here. Or x is equal to negative 2. That's another intercept. Or finally, x is equal to 3 here. so that the overall product is 0. I've made a silly mistake here. Did you catch that out? When x is equal to 0 here, the entire product would be 0. It's not negative 6. So this f of x is equal to 0. It's not negative 6. So yeah, make sure to double check your answers every time the exam. It's easy to make mistakes in these questions. So f of x, now we know when x is equal to 0, f of x is 0. So that's 1 point here. Another one is x is negative 2. F of x is also equal to 0. So that's around here. And finally, when x is equal to 3, f of x also equals 0. And now we look at the shape of the graph. This is a cubic since it has 3 x's multiplying by each other. So there'll be a cubic term. And another thing to note is it is a positive cubic because all the x's multiplied will give a positive x cubed. There's no negative coefficient in front of it. So therefore the graph will look something like this. This is a positive cubic, and a negative cubic would look like this. Something like that. So now we can finally draw the graph. We know that it looks like that, the shape, so it would be something like this. And yeah, that is what the graph of f of x would look like. So you've seen the key steps here is to calculate the intercepts firstly, and to find the y-intercept, what we do is we set x is equal to 0. And to find the 3x intercepts, we set the function or y to be equal to 0. Because if you think about it, these are the if you think about it, this would be the x-intercept and this would be the y-intercept. So clearly it's when the y-intercept occurs when x is 0 and the x-intercept occurs when y is equal to 0. So that's what the graph looks like. Okay, and now we are asked to expand and simplify this expression here. So the way we do this is we leave the x outside and we would simplify the inner brackets. So the way we do this is by using the acronym FOIL. It stands for first, outside, inside, last. What this basically means is we do the first 2 terms of both brackets multiplied by each other. So x squared. Now we do the outside of both brackets. And the outside terms is 2x, and then the other outside term is negative 3x. So the sum of these two would be negative x. So then that's negative x. And finally, we do the last 2 terms of both. 2 multiplied by negative 3 is negative 6. So that's our final term here. And now we can just, you should know how to expand this. Just multiply x by each of the terms. And you would get that as your final answer. Yeah. Okay, final part of this paper. A is the point 1, negative 6. The tangent to the graph of y equals fx at A meets the y-axis at B. And so we're asked to find the coordinates of B. So first of all, we have to differentiate the function. So dy by dx, we know that the original function is here, x cubed minus xy minus 6x. And if we differentiate it, you should know how to differentiate. It's also in my formula booklet. It's equal to 3x squared minus 2x minus 6. And A, it meets the point A is the point 1, negative 6. So what we do is we substitute in 1 into the derivative. And the notation for that looks like this. When x is equal to 1, because here x is equal to 1. It's equal to 3. We just substitute in 1. And that would be negative 5. So the gradient at the point A would be negative 5. Hence we have y is equal to negative 5x plus c. Now we're trying to find the equation of the tangent line so that we can calculate where it meets the y-intercept. So now what we do is we substitute in these coordinates. Any regular way of doing it, of finding out c. So firstly we substitute in negative 6 into y. And then we do x of 1. So negative 5, 1. And then finally plus c. And now we can just solve for c. So c is equal to negative 1. So therefore, we get that the equation of the tangent line is y is equal to negative 5x minus 1. And you should know that in the form y equals to mx plus c, c is always the y-intercept. And the c value here, right here, in this case is negative 1. Therefore, the coordinates where it meets the y-axis, it's 0, negative 1. Negative 1 is the y-coordinate of the intercept. And therefore, our answer is 0, negative 1. So yeah, that is the entire paper for this specimen paper complete. All the solutions here. This full PDF of my work solutions will be in the description. If this video is helpful, please like, share, subscribe, and comment any other topics or problems you'd like me to see solved next. Thank you.